Hi, it's Dud, and let's talk about JTOH, more specifically the difficulty chart. The difficulty chart is quite an iconic part of JTOH as it is used to categorize towers from easy to catastrophic. Let me say them quickly. Easy, medium, hard, difficult, challenging, intense, remorseless, insane, extreme, terrifying, and catastrophic. I could also add in nil, but yeah, that's removed. So, what is wrong with it? Let me tell you what is wrong with it. First of all, the difficulties can be a little bit vague. For example, let's take Tower of Annoyingly Simple Trials and Tower of Spiraling Heights. Both are easy towers, but you would never know Tosh is a little bit more difficult than Toast. To combat this, G2Hers might say low easy or mid-high easy, but either way it's harder to communicate the difficulty. Another problem is that it is hard to compare two towers. Let me say, like, how many times more difficult is a high remorseless compared to a medium? Yeah, it's a really subjective question, I know, but it shows it's hard to compare difficulties not using possible numbers. So how can we fix this? We can use a scale, like a ruler, like Kelvin, like the Kelvin scale, like Fahrenheit, and something like that. So I first want to point out there's no way I can replace the JTOH difficulty chart, but I instead want people to use this for obbies, like as a side thing, making it easy to do mathematical comparisons. So how does it work? It's a scale which goes from 0 to 800, 0 being the easiest and 800 being the hardest. 0 is an instant win, meaning as soon as you enter the obby, you win. Might be waiting like a fraction of a second, but other than that, it's really easy. 800 on the other hand is absolutely and utterly impossible, even if you got admin or hacks. So let's see how we can compare these difficulties. Let's take 34 and 35. 35 is 1.1 times harder than 34. And this continues on and on. Let's compare 324 and 416. Subtract them both and you get 92. Now take that calculator of yours and do 1.1 to the power of 92 and you get 6,430. So 416 is 6,430 times harder than 324. Let's add a suffix to the number so it's easier to communicate. Let's call them duffs, like 90 duffs, 200 duffs. If you can think of a better name in the comments, then go down below. But other than that, another issue is that Roblox might filter the number, which can make it a little bit harder to communicate. So we're gonna have some sections, which kind of defeats the purpose, but it's alternative to Roblox being a little bit mean on the chat filter. So we're going to have 8 sections, each containing 100 numbers, and I'll give it a name and description. So let's begin. Simple. These jumps are really easy. In fact, most of the difficulty doesn't require jumping at all. Complex. A lot more creative and difficult. One mega fun obby fits into this category, as well as some Tower of Hell stages. Towers from easy to hard also fit into this category. Challenging. A lot harder and crazier. This is where most people, if not all players, will struggle, including me. Towers from hard to kata are in this category. If you're wondering, Tower of Elongated Runs is around 287 and Toast is around 183, and it really sucks JTOH just fits in this one category alone. Insane, extremely stupid, and this is where pros grind. This is also the last place where obbies has been beaten legitimately. Stairway to Heaven with no checkpoints, for example, is in the 370s. Yeah, longer the obby, the harder it is to pinpoint the difficulty. Unreal. Nobody has ever beaten these types of obbies, but a task can do it. For example, Tower of Mental Playground is in here, in the 410s into the 430s, since Tower is so hard to categorize. Unimaginable. TAS is very capable here, but TAS is actually cheesing these obbies instead of actually doing them legit. So yeah, this section is technically impossible. But yeah, it's cheesable, so still possible technically. Undefined. So hard you can't actually make gameplay for this. Instead, you'll kind of have to, like, you know, work around it. Tasks will either cheese or hackers will just invincibility. And yeah, that's the only way you can actually beat it. Unachievable. Not even considerable. And yeah, this obby is so bad it'll crash your computer immediately, making it impossible to complete for anyone. Like, imagine if it was just a 12-stud jump to the wind pad, but you're at 0 FPS and the game has like 100 viruses, so your computer's gonna die after you do it. And you know, you should be fine. Yeah, it was really fun making this video, and I genuinely want to see people use this. It makes it so much easier to do math and compare difficulties, and that's the entire point. It's like the scientific temperature scale, which is Kelvin. Kelvin, yeah, 0 is absolute 0. Just like the name implies, and then it goes up and up all the way to 1000, and that's what I wanted to compare it to. Now, I could have made this not a logarithmic scale. That means the difficulty exponentially rises. But if I did not make it an exponential scale, then it would be very, weird, because a lot of obbies are really difficult, and I would have to put like 3,000 or maybe even 30,000. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching, and bye. I'll, you know, talk a little bit. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder to make content now because, you know, I'm having some tests next week. So if you guys can give me a favor, can you guys give me a little tiny break? I mean, you guys won't really decide that. That's really my choice. But yeah, in reality, I will be taking a break for now. I'll make my next video. My last video will be on Sunday for Obby review, and then after. Hi, a small little tip. So as you can see, it's pretty hard to get angles. So I'm gonna show you how to get perfect angles. So yeah, this is just a small tip I want to show. It didn't really deserve one full video, so why not include it here? So all you have to do is copy it over, just like shown. And then you have to make some sort of a square shape, and then you have to only select 3, just like that. And then you can rotate it at any angle you want. And as you can see, that angle is really clean and really nice. So yeah, if you struggle with angles, this is a really good tip. Bye.